Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Wake Up Missoula. I'm your host, Scott Ramp, here to usher you into the first Friday in May, which I'll have your art guide and more. Sadly, we don't have any city council meetings this week, so I don't have any videos for you to show you, but I do have plenty of other fun videos to keep you guys engaged and entertained throughout the rest of the hour. Some things happening in the news, of course, back and forth between what's happening with our state legislature, things moving forward in terms of property tax relief for first primary ownership of your home. So we'll talk a little bit about that in my news report. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to Missoula Community Foundation, where they are in the middle of their Missoula Gives campaign. So we're going to take a look at their leaderboard and their website at missoulagives.org. And so this event is ongoing. It's going on for another less than 11 hours left in the day to donate. So far, they have nearly raised $600,000 with over 199 organizations in attendance. So if you look at the leaderboard, you probably barely see it, but if you can take a good look, Blue Mountain Clinic has the most raised currently at $59,410. Our Lee Rehabilitation Center has $39,150,000. And then if we click on the donor tab, you can see who has the most donation. And our Lee Rehabilitation Center has the most single donations going on. Second is Lowell School PTA, which is at 161 donors. And then third, which is still the number one amount raised, is Blue Mountain Clinic with 110 donors currently. So there's a lot of events and a lot of things interwoven with First Friday tonight with the Missoula Gives campaign. So if you are interested, you get to go to Missoula Gives and you choose your favorite organization to donate to. And so far, they just passed the 200 organizations have been donated to, with 2,349 donors. So good start to the second day for a lot of people looking to help support local area nonprofits. So let's jump into some news. And while grants are not being renewed or passed for many of the organizations in Missoula, Montana, libraries are worried about their futures. Montana State Librarian Jeannie Stapp is cautiously optimistic that an annual grant that benefits public libraries across the state will be fully funded amid turmoil at the federal agency that distributes the money. Montana receives $1.5 million for the whole state to support the library as a system that works along each other. Hence, if you have a Billings library card, you can come to Missoula and use your library card here. Our system is statewide, and you can receive books from all over the state. I got a book from Great Falls. It was pretty cool. The IMLS Program Fund is shared digital media platform for media to go, library corridor services, the Montana History Portal, and the Talking Book services for people with visual impairments. The funds also support the administration of a shared digital card catalog, which turns a small library's physical collection to thousands of books into millions of titles for card holders to browse. So essentially, it's like the opening of the door of like ebooks. So even if they don't physically have the books there, you still have access to the literary material. Not to mention, I also want to give a shout out to many other programs and other things that many people just don't really think about that the library has resources to, and one of it is called Libby, which is an app that you can download, which is a great resource for folks looking to download audiobooks and digital books for their smart devices. Canopy is also a video movie streaming services that actually provides originally used to up to 8 movies a month, but now it has credit for up to 40 movies a month of this digital streaming for free, as long as you have your library card. So those are the some of the services people don't usually think or know about at the libraries. They just think of it as old books. So it's a source of information to those who don't have access to public or state education resources. Money from the IMLS grant of states programs doesn't go directly to libraries, and loss of federal funding will have libraries pulling from their own pockets to cover those costs. And regardless of raising the alarm of future funding, Spectrum, one of Missoula Public Library's partners under One Roof organization, has lost upwards of $500,000 worth of grants after being targeted by the Department of Governmental Efficiency, otherwise known as DOGE, as many of those grants through IMLS are safe, but reauthorization is due in the fall, where Congress and the current administration will decide to continue those grants. So while some grants are getting cut, youth crisis centers are getting a bump in support through the Partnership Health Centers, Providence, Youth Homes, and Aware to expand and coordinate mental health services for youth and their families with the $1 million for the next 4 years. That's essentially $1 million each year to support these programs. The goals of this Missoula project include improving collaboration among providers to better center families, helping youth transition between services with less waiting time, keeping kids in the community, engaging youth and families in plans for care, and decreasing crisis and hospitalizations. Not since 2017, when the legislature cut funding for many services, has there been ways for families to use Medicaid to help cover the cost for the families' mental health services. But these services will provide no cost for students and youth as a resource for families to use. For example, the money for St. Patrick's Youth Mobile Crisis Unit will provide more services in the community and at schools, not to be confused with the mobile crisis units under the Public Partnership Health Center and the City of Missoula. Rather than being available at hospitals or clinics, this aim is to provide resources within schools for students needing some form of mental health support through social work. Youth homes will also be getting another big bump because they have a crisis bed that has a 2-week limit for people who have used youth homes in the past, and this has supported 5 youths in Missoula since October. This will essentially allow for indefinite stays and longer stays to these emergency beds, being able to work with the youth and helping them get placed and in the right spots. And a lot of these emergency beds are for kids who are aged out of the system and to help them give the support that they need to move forward in their lives. This will be quite a big change for Missoula over the next 4 years, which has decried public forums and rallies about housing rights and expansion of mental health services. Mind you, those funds are ongoing for the next 4 years. And in a world of uncertainty, many places are choosing to lay low and weigh the storm, and others are decrying to the press and government about their worries about continued funding futures. We're not even talking about nonprofits, as the powers that be within Walmart, Target, and other retailers are warning about empty shelves. The CEOs of Walmart and Target are warning that shelves will be empty by next week. Not necessarily, you start seeing a big notice happening next week, but of course, according to April 26, 2025 report by Axios, the CEOs said that the private meeting on Monday, April 21st, that the U.S. tariffs could mean massive product shortages and price spikes. Although they have met with Trump and allies privately, they say that things should be okay with a rough patch going into this summer. Even Amazon, the great retailer, is threatening to publish tariff markups, pointing the blame, but that was quickly curtailed. Foisting blame and others continue to seem. Amazon has backed down the other day, regardless of what Bezos has said. And of course, the reports of this morning, he's looking to shore off $4.95 billion, upwards of $5 billion in stock of his company is coming onto the market for sale. And, you know, just thinking about it, you know, Trump's existence is a trial to the people who need to get over themselves and their parasocial relationships with politicians. Essentially, it's important that we know that the politicians work for us, and even if we can't say job well done, at least we can try to make sure that they get any kind of job done instead of cut. While the topic of the world, besides Trump, because of Trump, the Canadians' Conservative Party essentially got defeated after a couple of months of being on track of getting a majority of votes for their party. Justin Trudeau led the country for many years and got a lot of flack towards the end for some of his policies in the post-pandemic world of higher cost of living and larger divide with wealth among their countrymen. This was a shoo-in for Canadians' Conservative Party and leader Pierre Poilievre, who not only lost his shot at becoming the prime minister, but also lost his seat on the parliament after 20 years. And it's crazy how incumbents and lifelong politicians stick around, and, you know, for good reason. People like predictability, and with Prime Minister Mark Carney pulling off the victory in a post-Trump world filled with tariffs and bully tactics. Essentially, he won because Trump called Canada the 51st state. And Carney had his history of helping UK pull off Brexit with the EU, and is a banker by trade. He has the most votes for the PM job, but the parties in place are more or so in place with the further leftist party, but he seems to be a little bit more centered to the left as a whole. So in a lot of ways, the Conservative Party has kind of won a lot of ground with the kind of premiership, as they've figured out they kind of want to look forward and how they want to move forward with how they're going to run their country. in this whole tariff kind of situation. And so there's a lot of other countries going on right now that are just kind of trying to figure out and trade with each other. I heard that China, instead of getting gas and fuels and stuff from the United States, have been turning to other countries, including Australia, for their oil as well. But back to Canada, you know, and it is kind of crazy because after everything that was going on, basically reporters asked Trump what he thought about the whole situation, about this huge swing of election. He felt emboldened by his influence over the nation to the north, regardless of the loss. So, minding Trump is never more powerful than the more we talk about him. And I think we'll move on from him as a topic. Yeah, all just because of the 51st state comments and more. Okay, so let's talk about more Missoula-esque central stuff. So the north side, they have their organization, the North Missoula Community Development Corporation, on Monday said it is now known as Front Step Community Land Trust, and this is part of the north side, changes into something that is becoming more of an outlier for future deed-restricted housing. Beyond, of course, over the past 25 years, the city has grown and housing costs have risen, making affordability a challenge for many folks. The organization believes gentrification and displacement represents a growing risk, and according to Missoula Current's Martin Kidson, in an effort to address the issue, the organization, under its original name, created a number of community land trusts, an arrangement in which the trust owns the land and the residents own the building. The structure removes the cost of the land from the price of the home. So essentially, it is kind of taking the open space model of acquiring land for the purpose of using it to keep housing costs of the home and not the space it occupies. So it's kind of like trailer parks, but the city owns the land. So yeah, something to think about. But of course, as the cost of living on the forefront, Governor Greg Gianforte proudly signs his third income tax cut bill. While Montana revenue is 70% income taxes, those cuts come at the time where Montana is having a surplus of budget for the state. The last session saw property tax relief of $675 for the 2023 and 2024. And this is just another in the state's attempt to curb taxable income to soften the burden of cost of living. House Bill 337, sponsored by House Speaker Brandon Lur of Savage, Montana, lowers Montana's top tax rate by 0.5% over the next 2 years, expanding eligible threshold for filers to pay the state's lower tax rate, and doubles the earned tax credit. The change made at the state's structure will reduce the revenue flowing to the state's general fund by roughly $756 million by fiscal year 2029. Mind you, the last legislation session saw a $1 billion surplus for the state. And since we're on taxes, let's just talk about the property taxes. So this week, the governor and the Senate moved forward on House Bill 231 and Senate Bill 542, which significantly took a lot of the provisions from many of the other places to figure out how to lower the taxes on property style stuff, but this would essentially avoid cuts to local government services by pushing up taxes on second homes and Airbnb short-term rentals, and it also passing higher tax bills into some agricultural and business properties. The tax burden shifts onto industrial properties like refineries and utility companies. Opponents say business groups and the Chamber of Commerce warned it could lead to job losses and higher utility costs. A new homestead exemption lowers the tax load on the owner-occupied homes, while vacation properties and high-value commercial assets are expected to pay more. You turn your private property into commercial businesses, don't expect to write it off, essentially. So for the owners of the medium price home in Montana, that could mean a saving of around $719 for next year's tax season. However, this would make it harder for tax services to determine what is a primary and secondary, making the tax break a little bit blurry, but some opponents claim that these provisions in this SB 542 could lose in a lawsuit as a result. So even when passed, those paying business taxes are looking to pay less because they claim their property is less valuable than residential properties. This and income tax breaks for Montana that was assigned this week makes the state more appealing for businesses. So while the state tax break, communities are looking to advocate for their schools as this annual budget season for MCPS kicks off this summer, and they're looking for more money. So MCPS, Missoula into asking for the voters for money to cover budget shortfalls at MCPS as they go on to the budget season. Their two main asks are the general fund levy of $384,000 to retain staffing and programs at MCPS. Another one is the safety levy, which didn't pass last time, but they're now asking again for upwards of $1 million for for the high school resource officer (SROs) for one, and security system updates for the bulk of requests for prevention training and intervention, maintain and improve secured entries and doors, camera and intercom system, visitor management services. Sentinel High School lockdown 2 weeks ago. Two teens were apprehended with a firearm a couple weeks ago when a student notified SRO in the school about the suspicious activity. The lockdown lasted less than an hour, and youths were taken into custody, and since they're underage, there wasn't much follow-up on the reporting, and their names haven't been released on this one. Montana has a very strict privacy laws that require two-party consents, not to mention involving minors. There's a lot of the news that are not allowed to cover based on laws. And of course, just Wednesday, the developers that were working on the East Missoula development are being pursued by the federal agents in a bribery scandal. So Griffin Smith out of Missoula wrote this article highlighting the duo, father-son developer David Sanson, 60 of Phillipsburg, Montana, and Trenton Sanson of Walnut Creek, California, are accused of bribery and conspiracy charges after a California city council said they attempted to give them $10,000 in campaign contributions to push the housing project through development review. The incident also alleges the developer tried to bribe the city councilor with an additional $5,000 in cash hidden within a coffee mug. With the Aspire project in East Missoula approved last November, when the county moved the process of zoning under the city's purview, it became a hot button issue with residents in the area not being able to voice their concerns on the county property that the city was developing. Although it is not unheard that the county kicks the can to the city to handle developments and zonings to better improve the grid. This story has a complicated future of this 252-unit development, and the federal official federal government report claims that the unnamed council member out of California said on June 12, 2024, Trent Sanson met with the city council and asked for support in moving the project forward. The indictment said that the developer then offered political contributions for the councilor re-election campaign. June 20th, that same year, Dave Sampson met with the councilor. The indictment said that Dave Sampson said that he was in talks with the councilor's re-election team. Dave Sanson then handed the councilor a company-branded mug with $5,000 inside, according to the complaint. The councilor then reported it to the Bureau of Investigations. Winston Chan, a representative for Dave Sanson, said that the statement to the Missoulian that Dave Sanson is a respected business leader and the allegations were untrue. And yeah, so far the city of Missoula has not necessarily responded, but yeah, they are part of the DeNova organization, DeNova. And yeah, let me just see if there's anything new about this, any recent updates. Looks like it's just about a week old now with some of the news reports that are going on currently. So I'm going to take a break right now. I'm going to throw it over to some fun video guys. This is from the Zootown homeschool group that comes here, and they'll be coming in next Wednesday to shoot a whole nother movie with us as well. This is one of the things that MCAT does for the community is we get a group of kids, either sign up for our summer camps, which we do have spots available for our horror camp, and plenty of spots in our documentary camp for this summer in July. So you guys can sign up at MCAT.org to make movies like you're about to see right now.
Sorry I'm late. Have you seen the sensei?
No, he's not here yet.
That's odd. What do you think this mission's gonna be?
I don't know. Sensei said it was something about, like, infiltrating a factory or something. Wonder where he is. He's late.
A sensei is never late. His students are simply early.
Sensei, why do you look like a little girl?
It's my disguise. Is it convincing?
Yes, it is.
Where's the old guy?
I may be old, but my hearing is as sharp as yours, if not sharper.
So what's our mission?
Your mission is to infiltrate a factory. It is full of dangerous chemicals that need to be disposed of.
Is this the typical eco-terrorism assignment we got last time?
Pretty much. I have a guy on the inside that will let you in at exactly 3:33. But the important thing is, once you are inside, you must retrieve a capsule full of chemicals. They are very dangerous radioactive chemicals that will unleash the end of the world as we know it. You cannot let that happen.
Okay, we're here.
What time is it?
It's 3:32.
How much longer do you think? Oh, come on in.
Any other traps around? Don't see any. Okay. Well, have you seen the box?
Not yet.
Oh, look, there it is. Oh. You know the code?
No. But I know how to hack into it.
Alright, put in my mask.
Hey, I got a security alert that the door opened.
Oh, that was just me.
Huh. The hallway is dark, but the light in the main office is on. Are you sure? Do you want to go check it out with me?
Yeah, sure. Let's go do that.
We did it.
Let's get out of here. Huh. You don't understand. This thing is gonna kill us all. I'm not paid to save the world.
You go low, I go high.
I'm not the only one that can hear. You can't ninja without your sword.
Come on, get out of here.
Sensei.
Oh, I was this close to enlightenment. This close. We got the chemicals. I see. Now that you have saved the world, again, your next task is to infiltrate the Louvre and steal the Mona Lisa because it has been replaced by an evil robot that only looks like the Mona Lisa. That is a threat to all civilians.
That sounds weird and hard.
Mission accepted.
All right, we are back. Let's talk about some things that are happening downtown Missoula. It is First Friday, and every First Friday, actually, no. My bad. I'm jumping the gun right this one. It's actually Pre Critic, where I prejudge a movie based on absolutely nothing but my biases towards movies in general. Pre Critic talks about just some movies that are released in this weekend, and man, do we got a lot of movies that are coming out this weekend, and a lot of just random movies that are just coming out to streaming. So kicking things off is Thunderbolts, the big Marvel movie that's supposed to be coming out. We got the Guardians of the Galaxy that showed us anything is possible with talking raccoon and tree, but let's come back to Earth and we get the generic humans doing their own thing of this. During this slightly powered humans as they take on the world, as they fight to get the thing, but the thing is worse and they have to band together to defeat the thing. Are you following? Because I can barely keep up. Because the people they're working for are bad, but not as bad as the bad that thing that's about to happen and is happening. I mean, the MC overall, yet another till Avengers Doomsday comes out or whatever. All right, then we got The Surfer. Once upon a time, a guy with a camera followed Nicolas Cage into the ocean, and that's the movie. With his Oscar category for keeping Nick Cage's wig on while in water, then they deserve a win. Watch as a fading surfer returns to his old stomping ground only to be bullied by the new locals, preventing people from going out there and having a good time. I hope this movie goes over the top with the father and son's relationship is put to the test as he wins against the young surfers and wins custody over his son or whatever, or his love. All right, Rust. Well, they finally finished it or whatever, and they're finally releasing it. A movie that was originally filmed like in Arizona. Something bad happened. Pretty bad happened. Really bad happened. And then they reshot a lot of their scenes up in Montana. So there's a Montana shout out for there, so congratulations. Watch as an aging Western gunslinger teams up with his grandson who did a bad thing and survived in the cruel world of the Old West. But ignore all that for every time you see Baldwin on screen and wonder who was behind the camera throughout the movie. Then we got a bunch of movies that are coming out that I'm just going to breeze right through. Bonjour, Tristan T. Welcome to the world of low-key women being attracted to each other, but denied those feelings around a bunch of buzzkills that would either hate for you being your true self, or most likely people go, huh, I guess I'm out of the running. And then we got Rosario. When you're stuck at home with your dead grandma and those demons use her body to try to kill you, well, just another weekend over the river and through the woods as grandma's cabins in the woods where, yes, her teeth are too big. Then we got Words of War, journalists in the middle of Vladimir Putin's crackdown on independent journalists. Let's just say journalists don't last long under Putin. Then we got Electra, going on the theme of journalism. This one is about a journalist hanging out with a Roman famous person, and it gets the taste of the high life. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to pull a Fear and Loathing, but with more Crazy Rich Asians. So that's the movies that are coming out this weekend, and I actually have some promos for MCAT and beyond. This is a sneak peek of some of the music programs that that gets filmed here in our studio here at MCAT. And if you're interested, you can contact Dylan. We have some brochures and information at mcat.org to follow, and you get to see your video premiere. And this was from the YouTube channel, another one of our branch channels, very much how like I'm Wake Up Missoula, just off of MCAT channel, MCAT TV Missoula on YouTube. Then there's from Songs from the Mountains and Valleys, which is one of our coworkers' channels that's abridged to MCAT. So without further ado, here is Eddie Roy with a sneak peek.
You know I feel the fire on a rainy day. I feel the fire now as it burns me away, paying for the bridges I burned, or whatever that means. I sleep with one eye open, praying I don't dream. Don't let me dream. Oh, I walked up to his grave, stared down at my name, so I could hear the thunder. I felt the coming of the rain. When I'm walking with my grandpa, oh, we're hand in hand. He's telling me stories that I didn't understand. On a July morning, oh, we both disagreed. Never thought it would come to this. I never thought that you'd leave. Hold on, at what you got. Hold on now till you cannot.
Robots! Fighting the evil Skellymen.
You never steal our Bubble Hill, Skellyman. I will take over the Bubble Hills. Go, Robots!
MCAT Animation Drop-In Workshops every Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m. located in the Missoula Public Library, 455 East Main Street.
I'll get you next time, Robots. Next time!
Go, Robots!
Hey, Hey guys, we're back, and I totally forgot that I did not do the new dubbin stuff that I have for the week, but I'm going to save it for the end of the show. So when you see it, that'll be the end of the show. So let's jump right in. We got a lot of stuff happening for your first Friday. So this is all your art guide, all the things that happen downtown, midtown, Russell, even by Lowell School. There's a lot of different art installations and art guides and art classes, art places to go to in Missoula. It's rich with art, and and this time around we have 13 art galleries premiering some stuff. And kicking things off, we're going to the Frame of Mind. This is just located off of Brooks as you get past Rose Park. And for the past 7 years, Frame of Mind has reached out to the art community for the annual call for their juried art exposition. Sorry. This is a celebration of artists of all ages, backgrounds, medias, and styles. This has grown from a few local artists to an international event with participants for all over the United States, Canada, and even England. And this year's expo coincides with the Frame of Mind's 11th anniversary. In addition to this art display, on May 2nd, M80 Chicken and Bamboo Bar will be held. Will be there to help celebrate the festivities. Each year, the work of the artist is judged by 2 to 3 local influential artists and community members to not only help these participants grow and learn, but find the best way to best of the best each year. Juries will be announced later this month. So there we go. This is the kind of like the premiere, what's going to be on display for some time, where they're going to be juried and looked at for quite some time to determine who is going to be the winner. Then we jump on over to the Roxy, Leaf and Quiet's first Friday Paint and Craft Show. They are excited to host this their very first Missoula First Friday event tonight at the Roxy Annex on the Hip Strip. Come enjoy the evening of creativity and local talent as they showcase the works of talented local artists and crafters, browse unique art, handmade goods, and beautiful plants, all for sale. Most of the stuff in the art gallery are for sale, but whether you are looking to add to your collection or find the perfect plant for your home, there'll be something for everyone. Then we got Storied Surface at the Wildfire Ceramic Studios. This is Storied Surface exhibit. It's a celebration of complex geology of skin of the world, the marks left by fire, erosion, and human labor and expression. Clay has a special ability to capture a sense of history through the culmination of materials within the firing process. Each of the artists of the current cohort of the Clay Studio of Missoula addresses the question of surface with their specific approach, often engaging with atmosphere, texture, and form of illuminant and aesthetic world on their own. Ethan Harris, Yavir Hotclaw, Heather Leap, Kayla Noble, and Chrissy Ramirez together will invite you to peer into the world of their curiosity and notice the ornamental of materials that are being surrounded by this earth. So that's what's happening there. All right, then we're going to jump on over to the Four Ravens, which is downtown. This is the Pollinators and Pollinators and Beneficials. Doesn't really roll off the tongue, but this showcase nature's tiny but mighty allies and their vital role in our plant's health. The artisan creation captures the intricate beauty of bees, butterflies, birds, and other creatures using clay, glass, and fibers that merge fine craft and nature, and this goes on through June. Then we got Barbara Morrison, their paintings and sculptures at Gallery 709 and the Inside the Art and Framing. This is off Ronan Street next to the train tracks off of Russell. They're presenting Whistling in the Dark, Finding Solace in Creativity, colorful ganache watercolors, mixed media sculptures, and prints in massive exhibition and sale. This is from today until the end of the month. At Ronan Street, and you can go to gallery709.com for more information. Then we got Community Bowls at the Clay Studio of Missoula. So Community Bowls is a new exhibition featuring handcrafted ceramic bowls by 14 local makers, showcasing the talent and creativity within our regional community. More than just an art show, this exhibit honors the spirit of Empty Bowl movement, a global grassroots effort to fight hunger through the art and community action. Each bowl is on display represents not only the unique vision of its creator, but also shared commitment to raising awareness and supporting those in need. Many participating artists will be contributing bowls to the Missoula Food Bank Empty Bowl fundraiser this year, which will take place Wednesday, September 3rd at the Missoula Public Library. And they have a bunch of featured artists there, and exhibits will go on basically until the end of this month. And then we're going to jump over to Moody Magic of Montana, which is at the artist shop in downtown Missoula. And so this is by B. Schmitz. Their intent with the series is to lead the viewer outdoors and bring an open air into the space. They use hints of dreamy colors to push the feeling of magic and beauty is experienced when fully immersed in wilderness, and this show will run till the end of the month. Then we got Limits of the World, which is the Confluence Center in the downtown Missoula off of Main. This is the program is thrilled to present a magical evening of art and community. The May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and while it was first recognized in 1949, it has never been more important now to recognize the role of mental health plays in our overall well-being and the value of raising awareness and helping those in need of receiving treatment. The art can play a huge role in boosting the expression of our mental well-being to purge the dark cobwebs of our soul or dig up the joy found in every day. Torrance is excited to show the artists locally and from around the county in this poignant exhibit illustrating the human struggle from a variety of voices. And so that's what's happening there. Then we got Enduring Echoes. This is going to be at the Dram Shop, which is on Front Street. Art installations by Amanda Koschlik of Plaid Beaver Company entitled Enduring Echoes, and they're trained as ceramic artists. Amanda currently works with reclaimed and recycled wood that she scavenges from across Montana. Amanda creates and upcycled wood landscapes of specific mountains and ranges across Montana and the West. Then, as we get closer and closer, we're going to Dear Diary, which is an exhibit being featured at the Missoula Art Museum with an artist talk at 4:30, featuring artist is Lauren Gribel. The opening of Dear Diary is a captivating new series by Montana-based artist Lauren, blurring the lines between fine art, documentary, and wildlife photography. Graybell invites us to step us into a world of observed through the lens of a trail camera, her chosen portal into the quiet, unseen rhythms of the natural world with deer as both subject and co-creator. Graybell has positioned her camera along with well-worn game trails and weathered fence lines along with the landscapes and creatures who move through it to speak for themselves. The resulting images are not only hauntingly beautiful, but steeped in the ancient symbolism, invoking the deep connection between humans and animals that stretches back to Paleolithic times. So that's happening at the Missoula Art Museum, and they usually keep their exhibits there for quite some time, so you definitely get a chance to go look at it. Then we got Nonsense Art Show. This is going to be at Office Temple in downtown Missoula. This is the second floor of the Higgins on Higgins building. Lee Lavey uses the landscape as a site to dig for materials moving in, left behind, or possibly from the future, and probe from evidential imprints that speak to our current time and space of liminal transmission, moving us into speculous futures. So. And also, Dusty Shivers loves graffiti and responds to what he sees and hears in the environment. He is always paying attention to the sounds, forms, and images all around that happens every day, especially while observing street life. There is an eccentric, ecstatic chaos happening in everyday life, like infinite juxtaposing going on, all flowing into one another in a very ephemeral way. So a lot of big words there. Tradisha Opsted is making visual art, sound art, video, and dance performances. Their work is experimental and expansive in nature. She pulls from the skills and training as a dancer using embodiments practice on her work. Their work is influenced by Dadaist of Fluxus movement, along with deep study of history, art philosophy, crafted composition, and techniques. She appreciates the element of chance, momentary impulses, presence practices, trusting the form will develop and emerge to shape outcomes. So this is the approach that these three artists will be featured at the Nonsense exhibit. And then we're going to In the Moment by Caleb Meyer. This is going to be at Dana Gallery in downtown Missoula. In the Movement is a grand finale show by acclaimed local artist Caleb Meyer. The exhibit features 11 stunning paintings highlighting Caleb's unique ability to capture memories and translate feelings. After 18 wonderful years at the Dana Gallery, Caleb is venturing out into a new gallery, and you can join the Dana Gallery as they celebrate his legacy and continue represents through the month of May. So last chance is, if you haven't noticed and you haven't seen some of his stuff over the last near 20 years, this is definitely your last chance to check it out as he is exiting from the Dana Gallery. T. Lyle is going to wrap up our First Friday Art Walk This is all happening from 5 to 8 p.m. You got to go to all 13 new openings, exhibits, and more. Usually they also have some additional posts on MissoulaEvents.net, which I'll get to later in the show. So they strive to create pieces that speaks to the ephemeral nature of our existence. T. Lyle at Bernice's Bakery, just off of the Hip Strip on 3rd Street, will invite you to reflect and experience the beauty of transit, a reflection of the intangible, those moments, emotions, and elements that don't often elude the eye but remain powerful in their presence. Upcycle and community source materials from Giving Art to Missoula GAM. Each piece creates and imbued with the energy of materials and the stories they carry. And so this is going to be from 5 to 7 p.m. T. Lyle is going to be there. So that's what it says on the description here. So come say hello at the Bernice's Gallery. So a lot of different places, a lot of places doing all sorts of things this weekend and more. We're going to jump right in and give another shout out to Missoula Gives, which is also in full swing well into this afternoon. And so far they have passed their $600,000 goal of raising money, and if we look at their website as well, it is a great resource for those looking to donate to their local area nonprofit. And so 201 organizations have benefited so far, with 2,400 donors and $619,000, nearly $620,000 raised to support many of these local area nonprofits, with the leaderboard with let's see, the amount raised. The top earner right now is Blue Mountain Clinic. Arley Rehabilitation Center is at second. Missoula Food Bank and Community Center is third at $24,829. Not much has changed between those, but it seems like Missoula Food Bank and Lowell School are competing with one another for the third spot, while the Palvarella Center sits at $20,000. So there's a lot of organizations benefiting from this as well. We have the last 10 hours or so to support local area nonprofits. This is a campaign, and it looks like they just passed the $260,000 threshold. So hopefully they're going to meet their goal of $6.45 million. $1.45 million from last year. So they want to go bigger and better than last year. All right, let's talk about other things. While other organizations like this are my highlight, Missoula has I also want to use this time, since I'm on the board of the Historic Museum at Fort Missoula, I'm asking on behalf of them to help raise money to restore and protect Missoula's first Catholic church, St. Michael's. And since also I work at the Library Spectrum Discovery Center is also looking to raise money, since they missed out on major grants of upwards of $500,000. It's one of 3 grants, which each of them total $250,000 that DOJ cut from their STEM type programming to support the next generation of scientists. So just want to give some support to our local neighbors here at Spectrum under one roof. They want to keep their doors open and engage kids with science activities and more, while at the same time Historic Museum of Fort Missoula is trying to restore by far one of the oldest buildings in Missoula, if not Montana, which was built in the 1800s, Catholic Church, St. Michael's. So something to think about. Also, as we're jumping into things that are ongoing right now, there is a 12-hour treadmill event. This is a treadmill challenge at the Shields. This is to support the Cancer Support Community Montana treadmill challenge. So this is happening. Members sign up for a 30-minute slot to walk or run on a treadmill. Treadmills will be set up outside of Shields from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and are welcome to join the effort. Those who sign up will run their own campaign to help raise critical funds for the Cancer Support Community of Montana. And while you're out there shopping and whatnot, just so you know, First Lutheran Church is also doing a garage sale starting right now. Churches have always have the best stuff for kids who are aging out of their clothes and all sorts of things community donates over the seasons. Stroller Strides and Mommy and Me workout class. This is a daily occurrence from Monday through Friday for mothers and their babies to go out to Bonner Park and do some workout activities together. Basic silversmithing at the Lifelong Learning Center not every week, but Lifelong Learning Center is a class you pay to play and you pay to learn a class, and this is basic silversmithing if you wanted to make your own jewelry and essentially sell it at the farmer's market, which is coming close. Farmer's market is getting really close. It's just started in May and it'll happen at any point now. I haven't heard anything, been looking, haven't seen too much about that, but the winter market is still going on at the Southgate Mall, and it happens every Saturday starting at 9 a.m. And then as we jump into Missoula Public Library, also has Tiny Tales and story time at 10:30 a.m. Missoula Food Bank meals distribution at 10 a.m. as well this morning for people who want to get access to food, who are not looking to break the bank because costs of groceries and more are starting to get higher. Lunch at Senior Center is at 11:30 a.m. For all ages, $8. POV is also another food bank thing for folks looking to get access to food who don't have much access to economic funds. So those are available at 11:30 a.m. at the Senior Center, at the Paul Varela Center every day. And then Senior Center is Monday through Friday only. Yarns and Watercolor, this is on the 4th floor of the Missoula Public Library. This is an ongoing event that happens every Friday at noon for people who want to do painting watercolor, or they just want to do some yarn, stitch, crochet, and make their own clothes. The International Wildlife Film Festival is also continuing their virtual festival today at noon through the Roxy Theater. You can go online to the website to find out more information. Missoula Gives, they're throwing a party at Aspen Grove Therapy and Wellness Center to help raise funds for their organization and nonprofits as well. All Abilities Art Club at Base starting at 1 p.m. This is ongoing as well. Lego Club here at the Public Library at 2:30 every Friday. They're going to change that up in the summer for later hours, so look out for that. All Art for All drop-in creation station open house at Giving Art to Missoula. This is, they're opening the doors for Missoula Gives, and if you're invited to stop, make bikes, something cool. Their goal is raising $20,000 to keep art free and accessible for everyone in our community. Families for a Livable Climate annual benefit. Good Works Ventures Families for a Livable Climate is happening from 4:30 to 6:30 at Good Works Venture, as it's about 5 years of Families for a Livable Climate. In the time of a certain division, building resilience through community is more important than ever, and laughter is one of the best tools we have. They are thrilled to welcome comedian Sarah Ashwell to help us cut through the noise of the movement, lift our spirits, and fill our cups with humor and connection. Sorry. And while we had your art guide with pictures, here are some of the art installations that are happening for those that didn't have a visual representation. So Bob's Your Uncle at 812 Toole Avenue. They're going to be featuring works of Jay Fisk, Tricia Opstead, and Jesse Owens, and this is starting at 5 p.m. And also Volume Room First Friday Open Jam. This is a jam session at 5 p.m. at Volume Room. If you want to jam, that's the place to be. MUD Member Showcase. This is Missoula Urban Demonstration Project. They're excited to take part of Missoula Gives rallying support for hands-on learning, sustainability, and community connection. They're pulling a celebration of First Friday events into one final day of the campaign, a lively, engaging gathering that showcases the talent and integrity of their Toole Library members and workshop participants. For 3 hours, attendants will experience the artistry and craftsmanship of the MUD members, from handmade musical instruments to beautifully crafted furniture, all made possible through access to tools, education, and community support. Missoula and Bitterroot Gives finale party at Crankystown Public House. It's starting at 5 p.m., so this is going to be the wrap-up party of everything. They're hopefully going to still raise that $1.45 million for local area nonprofits for Missoula and beyond. They also do the Bitterroot. Let's see, Big Sky High School Climate Art Show. This is at Spectrum Discovery Center at 5 p.m. This is their 5 to 7, the museum for their second year doing the Climate Art Show. There'll be refreshments provided by Big Sky Culinary Department, and this has got the Spectrum Discovery Center at the second floor of Missoula Public Library. So First Friday at Sacred Alley. They're doing stuff there as well. Artists at Opportunity First Friday. Opportunity Resources is hosting a First Friday art show featuring framed art, pottery by artists of Opportunity, located in Opportunity Resource, nonprofit dedicated to enhancing the quality of life for individuals with disabilities. Community members can vote on their favorite pieces. Participants donate $1 to a smash pot, and the witness to live paintings being made. So Pure West is also doing a First Friday at Pure West. They're featuring 4 talented jewelry makers, each showcasing their handcrafted art. Anna Conley, Lind Howe Silverworks, Edo Rise, and Carla Basinger enjoy complimentary beer and wine as you browse and mingle and relax in the artful setting. Tango Dance Party at Montana Moonlight Studios. You ever want to do tango? They do tango and all sorts of fun. Beginners welcome, and if you're not new to tango, no need to pay for your first Friday. They give you a quick tango demonstration, and you can enjoy some light refreshments while you check out your next favorite dance, get your questions answered, and meet new people. So tango and beyond. Create your own doormat at Hearts of Fire Pottery and Art Studio. This is personal touch to your doorstop and a do-it-yourself doormat workshop at Hearts of Fire Pottery, and you unleash your creativity and design a one-of-a-kind doormat that welcomes guests with style. Blue Point at Free Cycles is going to be playing some bluegrass music at Free Cycles. Dirtwood at the Wilma is going to be playing some electronic music. Rhino Ross Art Night is going to be at the Rhino, featuring Working Dogs for Conservation. University of Montana Collegiate Rodeo. This is happening at the Missoula County Fairgrounds. University of Montana Rodeo is the last stop for Big Sky Regional Rodeo Circuit. Your UM rodeo team will be competing against 8 other schools across the Big Sky region. And this is a rodeo that's happening tonight at 7 p.m. MCT is also hosting Robert Rogers and Hammerstein Cinderella at 7:30 p.m. It might be their last weekend. You want to check that out. I heard it's really good. Marley and the Pocket at playing some R&B at Craigie Sand Public House at 7:30 p.m. UM Percussion Ensemble World Rhythm Concert at Denison Theater. This is the best of the best when it comes to rhythm and drums and stuff at the percussion ensemble. They always do such a great job. They have steel drum, island drums. It's such a great experience. If you get a chance, you should check it out. Night Blooming Jasmine at the Old Post playing some jazz at 8 p.m. Bookbinding, the Warehouse Mall is Fix Those Books with Tristan Boyer and Gastric Press, a graduate of UM with his features subjects in various worlds, by nature, architecture, or human. The bookshop will be open until 8 p.m. and have a bunch of books for sale between $1 and $5. So that's going to be at Warehouse Mall at 8 p.m. This bill is going to be at the Union Club tonight at 9 p.m. You got Missoula Fashion Week, Walk the Red Carpet After Party at Monk's at 9 p.m. Never Come Down at the Top Hat, playing some bluegrass music at 10 to wrap up your Friday. And that's just Friday. Saturday, we also have the Montana Wood Carving Show at Missoula County Fairgrounds. So starting at 9 a.m., you can see a bunch of people with chainsaws and doing some fun wood carving events happening there. Basically to sell chainsaws and logging equipment and whatnot, but have fun with that. So Easy Pillowcase at Lifelong Learning Center. It is another class to teach people how to make their own pillowcases, their own custom designs. Pet Run at the Big Sky Horse Park. The Big Sky Horse Park and the Missoula Horse Council welcome all dog owners to the 4th annual Pet Run on May 3rd at Big Sky Horse Park. Prizes, vendors, and pet portraits at the Big Sky Horse Park in Missoula, Montana. This competitive time of running event is limited to 1 dog per human. This year, walkers and runners with their leashed companions will complete in a 3K or 6K of one fine gravel within the boundaries of Big Sky Horse Park. They've expanded this year to include 10K that will also link to the DNR land and east of Big Sky Horse Park across Tower Street. Missoula Center does their weekly line dancing at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Makerspace walk-in hours at 10 a.m. This is like open time for anybody to walk in at the Missoula Public Library. Missoula, Montana's largest sport card and collectible show. Hilton Gardens Conference Center is hosting sports cards, trading, and everything like that. So you want to check that out if you're interested in that kind of stuff. The Prairie Sisters Vintage Mall is going to be at Fort Missoula. So Vintage Market is a bunch of old-timey stuff. Jewelry, beyond maybe some old wood toys. The Prairie Sisters Vintage Market at 10 a.m. at Fort Missoula on Saturday. Story time at Missoula Public Library at 10:30 a.m. This goes on every single week. Butterfly release at the Missoula Butterfly House at 11 a.m. Always a new crop of butterflies every couple weeks. Roll and Read event at McCormick Park. And families are welcome to stroll, bide, or walk from one reading station to the next to hear stories read by firefighters, Red Cross, and they are prepared with Pedro penguins and many more. After hearing stories, you can have your kids vision screened to play games and get bike tune-ups and check out the UM bus, see a fire truck up close, and have a healthy snack and even take home a free book. So this is a family-friendly event at McCormick Park, starting at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Well, that family friend's going on the other side of town, on the other side of the river. Garden City Brew Fest is happening at noon on Saturday at Cares Park. So it'll be interesting to see those dichotomies collide. The gathering of TMSM, Travelers Rest State Park. This is a special event that celebrates Indigenous art and culture around Western Montana, starting at noon on Saturday. Indigenous DJs come meet in these amazing food truck activities, live music from an Indigenous DJ. Sorry, I read that backwards. So come meet these amazing Indigenous makers and artists to support their businesses from 12 to 4 on Saturday. And so Missoula Fashion Week Block Party. This is at 310 North First West. This is Neo Ketterhouse and Funkit Coffee and Thrift. This is from 12 to 5 p.m. for the block party on Saturday. Also, every Saturday, MCAT does the Saturday drop-ins for kids who want to learn stop animation and more. This is from 1 to 3 p.m. every Saturday. And as we start wrapping up our weekend, University of Montana is also doing an International Alumni Potluck at the President's Room at Bradley Hall at 5 p.m. So if you're an alumni of the University of Montana, families are also welcome, bringing an internationally themed dish to share. Bingo night at Odd Pitch at 6 p.m. on Saturday. Contra Brazil concert and dance party at Imagination Brewing Company. Imagination at the CIMIC Event Center. Sorry, that's going to be at 6 p.m. playing Contra Brazil. And then family clay night at Fairy House, the clay studio of Missoula. Their teaching artists will lead a small hand building project that can be fully completed in a 90-minute session. So one and done kind of clay studio of Missoula class. Tiffany Haddish is going to be in Missoula, playing at the Wilma Theater, doing a comedy at 7 p.m. You might know her from Girls Trip and many other Kevin Hart-themed movies. Catfish Carl and Jesse Bromanman at Catfish Carl and Jesse Brenneman at Free Cycles is going to be some rock music on Saturday at 7 p.m. Looks like Free Cycles is doing a lot of their shows this weekend as well. West Side Prom, Jeff Medley and the gang at West Side Theater are doing their own 18 and up prom. Missoula Folklore Society Contra Dance at Elks Ballroom at 8 p.m. on Saturday, karaoke at West Side Lanes, and then we got Ticket Sauce Trio at Union Club, Chris Moon every Saturday at the Badlander, and that's pretty much it for your Saturday. I don't have much time, so I'm going to throw it over to my Dubbin Stuff that I totally failed to show in the middle of my show. So I'm going to wrap up my show, and I'm going to kick it off with Dubbin Stuff. And for Wake Up Missoula, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'm Scott Ramp.
I got next game, you hear me? Well, you just go away and play Pinochle or whatever.
Yeah, go do that.
Now you listen here. I brought Jenga. No one cares about Jenga. Come on, guys. You do this every time. You try to host a game night, and then you invite me, and then you just don't let me play. And I did bring Boulder Dash, but, well, sometimes we're just not in the mood for Boulder Dash. So if you don't like it, you can get on out of here. Sometimes we just want to play something classic, like chess, Othello, and backgammon. You guys made that last one up. I can't stand you guys. Okay, then. Now, don't you look at me like that. You know what it's like to play with him. He's always cheating and always changing the game mid-game.
But you wanted to play Jenga because you hate architects.
Well, my love of Jenga and my hatred of architecture kind of do go hand in hand, since the goal is to not knock over the tower, but I kind of like knocking over the tower. Ha! Take that, McFly.
Oh, someone's calling. Should I pick it up?
Oh, no, nonsense. We're in the Battle of Wits. We got to finish this backgammon game. Sorry I called it blackgammon. Oh, yeah, I don't think they're going to stop calling.
All right, back to Othello.
It's backgammon.
Othello.
We'll figure it out eventually. Will you figure that out? Oh, you couldn't just stand up and take it off its hinge? You have to have that stick and everything?
Well, it acts more like a defining rod, but...
They say that's an old wives' tale.
Yeah, they say a lot of things. Oh, a ghost!
Nah, I just don't think it's the receiver's fault. It's just your phone is. You better do something or I'm gonna rip it off the wall.
Just ignore it. It's just a tax collector. No big deal. All right now, hush, little baby. I said hush already.
You know, I'm starting to think that your wife is calling just to throw me off in this game. Is that what it is?
Oh, how dare you insinuate this? We're not even playing for money, so why would
that's funny. Not being a big deal, not winning a game. That's not you at all. All right, now let's get back to this game. Whatever we're playing. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna win.
Oh, I got a customer. I'm sorry, I gotta get up and help him. Oh, it's old Jimmy Bob. I gotta chat him up and whatnot.
Make sure you upsell him. You are a good businessman, aren't you?
All right, but just don't cheat. Jimmy, welcome to the show. Let me just break a couple bones getting up. Okay. I'm on my way. What'll it be?
Hey there. I'm seeking something real good for my crops. Do you guys have blue dye number 2? I'm looking for it.
Well, of course. We just got it in from a huge shipment the other day.
I, for one, am not all for the food dye, but it's all the rage these days.
Well, I think a blue crop would look pretty nice.
I don't know. I just think I'm compromising my crop and my values.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, but that's commerce. People want blue stuff now. It's just the way it is.
I'm gonna need some blue for my swimming pool. Do you think you can hook me up? I'm hosting a party, and I want to make it extra blue, just like the ocean.
Seems like everyone's into the blue dye curse these days. And lucky for you, I got a new Dabba Dibba to Die special just for you. Half off a bulk.
I'm pretty reluctant, but I guess I'll take a couple cases
Oh,
of it.
wonderful. You won't regret it. It's fresh out of the chemical factory.
Well, this isn't gonna change the taste of it, is it? You know, I want my carrots to taste like carrots even though they're blue, if that's okay with you.
I look forward to your blue carrots. Jimmy, take care. Don't you be cheating over there. You have that win at no cost kind of business mentality. And we're not even playing for money, so what's the deal? What's going on with you?
I know. I've not been acting myself lately.
Oh, wait, hold that thought. More customers are coming in.
I'm trying to open up to you. You know, I've been going through a lot since Cheryl died the other
Oh,
day.
nonsense. We should probably clean up the game.
Fine, you don't want to listen to me? I'll get out of your hair.
Hello there. Excuse me, do you have the blue starbursts?
Ugh.